Fated connections, integrating past and future selves, walking into the world as the new you. Hello, gorgeous miracle. This is Alysa Rushton with your May Energy Update 2023 for light leaders, sensitives, intuitives, and amazing awakened ones like you. If you are new here, welcome. Please drop a comment below so I can personally say hi. And if you always come by for these energy updates, please pop a comment so I can thank you for being a part of this growing community of awesome light leaders. And if you are wanting to know more about becoming an energy intuitive yourself, or to learn how you can start using the energy intuitive practices I teach in your own coaching or healing practice, I've got a link for you below where you can check out our Divine Light Energy Healers Academy, where I teach light leaders like you how to work with multi-dimensional advanced levels of energy and light so you can help your clients get amazing transformations while raising your vibration too. Now, I do want to say before we dive in that I am on location here today, and you might hear some nature sounds in the background or some women. I'm on a women's retreat, so please forgive the background noise. But let's go ahead and dive in. So the first energy that's really coming through is fated connections, designed to help you integrate your past and future selves. So part of what is happening on the planet right now with light leaders like yourself is there has been a deep integration process that you've been going through. This has been a cellular purge on many levels. Many light workers and light leaders have been going through health issues and having old traumas resurface. And so that kind of sets the framework. And this has been really happening since about last October timeframe, but it might even have dated back for you back into June or July timeframe of 2022. So I want you to think back to June of July of 2022 or October of 2022 and think about what traumas, what physical ailments have been resurfacing. And what I want you to know is that you're part of a greater collective group that has been pulling out these energetic strands or threads of trauma. And what I'm seeing is a picture of one of those old marionette dolls being worked. And it was almost like you as a human being were being your strings were being pulled by these traumas, and they were controlling many aspects of yourself without you even being aware of it or knowing it very deep level. You may not have known how deeply rooted it was shifting your life in a certain direction. And so what I'm being shown is that now those roots, those strings, you know where those strings are attached, and you've spent a good 6 months doing healing trauma work. You've been pulling out the strings, and many of you are almost through the gauntlet here. You're almost string free, meaning that it feels as if you are almost through this time where old past traumas are dictating how you are in the world, which means that now you are coming into a place where you are going to be able to incorporate in with these fated connections, this happening this month, that will allow you to integrate your past and future selves. So you may very well run into a situation where you're sitting in front of an entire group of your past and future selves, right? It's the energetics of who you've been in the past, maybe around a particular story of something. Maybe it's a money story. Maybe it's a physical healing story. So whenever you find yourself in a group of people, you might start to look for how are these people reflecting who you were in the past, and how are they reflecting the frequency that you're attuning to for you to be in the future. I'm also being shown that this can show up instead of in a group situation all at once. It can show up moment by moment, person by person. But regardless, in the month of May, something that you want to be on the lookout for, to be asking yourself is, how can I see this past version of myself with more love and compassion? So when someone's showing up in front of you as your past self, how can you offer not only that person more love and compassion, but how can you offer that past version of you more love and compassion? How can you extend a little healing in the moment to both yourself and this individual? Because I'm being shown that you're working on a greater collective healing timeline here as you're doing this work in the present moment. And when you meet that person that is that future version of yourself that you've been seeing in the world for yourself, and you just know that that's your trajectory, the beautiful thing to be able to do is to help yourself anchor that frequency. Give yourself this phrase: I'm now attuning to the frequency that is before me. So whatever that frequency is that you've been wanting that person shows you, and maybe it's just one little category. Maybe it's someone before you who's super sensual and you've been wanting to embrace more of your sensual side. Or maybe it's somebody who's super healthy and eats super clean and you've been wanting to embrace more of that. You can simply ask yourself, how can I attune myself to more of this frequency in this moment right now? And the more you attune yourself to that frequency in the moment right now, your now self, your I am presence, is then able to, at the level of identity, start making shifts and changes for you in the future. This is a really excited energy, lots of fated connections that are designed to help you move forward. Now, the next energy that is up this month is really the new you walking into the world as the new you. And so this might feel a little wobbly at first because of all the integration work that you've done. And through the first couple weeks of May, you're going to be feeling more of this newness and even watching old parts of you just fall off almost instantaneously. And you'll feel quite possibly a huge upswing in your vibration, in your frequency, huge attunements happening at this time to both your physical body and your energy body. And something that I'm being shown for many of you that is possible is a year's worth of healing in one day in a really gentle way. So if you are in a situation where you can be in nature and you can just go outside and attune to that frequency, you may just give yourself the prompt and cue. I'm now attuning to a year's worth of healing in a single day in a gentle way, and allowing that energetic, instantaneous level of healing that's available for all of us in the now moment to drop through your body vehicle. One of the things that we are working on here collectively as light leaders and empaths, intuitives, starseeds is you guys are working on building up the new earth. You're working on bringing a new frequency, new vibration, new constructs, new physical constructs. So as you're walking into the new world as this newer, updated version of yourself, you might very well run across opportunities this month and new possibilities. Things that you've always been dreaming of might very well drop right in your lap this month and present themselves. Now, these things will also look a little different than you might have concocted them in your mind. So it's really important to stay open when these opportunities present themselves, because they will start to drop in like wildfire this month and beyond. You're moving into a time between May, June, and July of a lot of opportunities coming through that are here to help align you with your divine path that you've always been on and that you're now even more than ever attuned to. So one of the things that you want to do with all of these opportunities coming through is just simply go into the heart space and ask, is this opportunity in my highest good? Is this opportunity filled with love? And is this opportunity for the highest good of all? And when you check in on those three levels, is it for my highest good? Is it filled with love? And is it for the highest good of all? And you get a yes, 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 then you'll know that the opportunity is for you. One of those nice tests that you can always do with anything. The next energy that's present for this month and beyond is a financial reset, but not the way you thought. So the planet has been talking about a lot of financial resets, and this one is actually a really delicious and yummy reset. For those of you who have been digging in and doing the work and really going within and finding your worth and wealth within, you will find a tremendous amount of new abundance flowing your way. Weird money that shows up. I'm being shown for many of you, it's a client just saying, hey, I really wanted to work with you, and here's, let's go ahead and do that. Or it might be a surprise. Something happens and you've got an online course or two and all of a sudden it's filled. For others of you, it could be winnings, or an investor comes in, or someone just comes in and says, here, I know that you've been needing this, so here. And as I am saying that, there is a pod of dolphins just floating in front of my beautiful window here. What I'm being shown is it's a new level of abundance, but also in the most joyful way. So think about the ways that bring you the most joy, that you will find opportunities this next month. And I'm really seeing this as a stretching energy from now in May, June, July. You're here to anchor in this joyful, abundant frequency. And if you heard my April energy update about paradise reimagined or paradise coming through, I forget exactly how I said it now, but there's an energy of you bringing back the frequency of peace here on the planet, of paradise here on the planet, of people being in harmony and in tune with their physical body, their energy body, their mental bodies. This is the process that we're going through, and it's been a very intense alchemical process of purging out all that density and darkness and pain and trauma. But now you are rising up on the other side of this, and hopefully by the time you're hearing this, you're feeling it. And if you are not yet feeling this level of frequency and joy and magic in your life, you do want to take a look at a couple of things. I always default back to looking at your diet, your physical environment first. Are you eating and doing practices that are in alignment with keeping your physical vehicle of light in attunement with a higher frequency? And many of you, myself included, by the way, are being called to let go of certain styles of eating or certain things that you have been eating that aren't really in tune with being a healthy human being. Many of our foods today are processed with chemicals that seem very benign, like citric acid or natural flavors, and you think, oh, it's a natural flavor, it's fine. But ultimately, those things actually were not found in nature thousands of years ago and harm our nervous system. And part of the deep work you've been doing is cleaning up your nervous system so that you can hold more light in your vehicle. And how I'm being shown this is happening is, imagine you are that cell tower and you're here to hold more frequency on the planet and broadcast that frequency out, and your physical body is the cell tower. And so if the cell tower wiring is faulty, right, the nervous system of your body isn't operating at full capacity, it's very difficult to hold that much light. And too much light in a vehicle that can't hold it will blow the circuits. And so our job here right now is to clean up that physical body as much as we possibly can so that you can hold more light, hold more frequency even when others are having a moment, even when others are behaving badly, you can stay in your own sovereignty, in your own frequency, so that you can help others and train to what's possible. Let's talk about the collective energies that are happening for a moment, because as you guys know, these energy updates are for you because you're in a different place than many people here on the planet, and that's okay. It's just like saying, some people are at this age, maybe they're at a certain age and they're going through a certain grade, and some people are not. And it's just, we're all on different paths, and you happen to be further along the path than others. And there's others that are further along the path than us right now. Our galactic friends, for example. So one of the things that I think is really important to remember is that as you are attuning to higher frequencies, there's many people on the planet right now that are going through that dark night of the soul, that deep awakening that you went through in 2012, or maybe you went through it in 2005, or maybe you went through it in 2020 even, or 2019. Maybe you went through it back in 2017. We have had these portals and waves of awakening. And this year, we're getting a massive portal of awakening. And so one of the things I think it's really important to remember is as you walk through the world and move about your day, that you can be in your own sovereign frequency. You can be in your own bubble or movie, so to speak, and that other people might be in their own bubbles or movies in their own reality, working through some really deep stuff. I personally find it very helpful to hold people in a very specific frequency that's very helpful to them and their healing and growth and evolution. And I personally believe that seeing somebody as not able to wake up in this lifetime is one of the most detrimental things we can do, because in quantum physics, how you impress your thought upon reality actually can change the nature of reality. So if you believe that, and even if you don't, you can experiment with it. Try to see as many of your fellow human beings as the divine in physical form, whether they are currently being that or not. You are going to see an incredible amount of news media, a lot of things that are going to rattle people, things that you've probably known or suspected, but you're going to see more and more and more of that coming out. And it might at times be hard even for you to discern what's real and what's true, and giving yourself just some moments to sit with information. Because as we move up in consciousness, what you're being invited to do is discern through the heart center and the energy body what truth is versus what's the documentation of this? How scientific is it? Who's saying it? You're being invited to do less of the left brain truth seeking and more of the energy, body, heart-based truth seeking, because you will feel now when something's discordant. You will feel the discord. Many of you are developing the ability to look at a picture or an image and feel a discord or a connection with it. And that vibrational frequency is taking over. So it's a vibrational frequency first. I've talked about this for the last few years of frequency first, and that's the reality that we're starting to move into. It's simply going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Frequency first. And what I mean by that is you as an energy being are going to sense somebody's frequency first. I'm going to make a dating analogy about the frequency first. So in the past, one might have chosen a mate because of how attractive they looked or appeared in the physical form. And now you're going to be met by their frequency first and how they feel energetically. And you might even, for example, feel drugs or alcohol in their field, and that might not be okay with you. Or you might feel that they've got some unresolved traumas in a really big way. Or you might feel just a general disconnection. And even though then you're able to see what an attractive person this is, the frequency mismatch will turn you away, or the frequency match will turn you to that person. So a lot of frequency connections, and the more you attune to the frequencies that you want daily, the more swiftly you will be able to move into your new life. The last thing I want to mention on this energy update is to remember you are in a time period where lots is getting shifted very quickly for you to move into a new trajectory of your new life. Expect some pretty amazing changes for you. And the more you align daily and attune daily to the frequencies that you want, the easier this is going to feel. And so one of the things that you can do is take some time during the day, in as many moments as you can, and simply tell yourself, I now attune myself to the frequency of, maybe it's bliss, maybe it's joy, maybe it's abundance, maybe it's peace, maybe it's ease, whatever the frequencies are that you've been wanting, and allow yourself to get in nature and attune to those frequencies. They are pouring in on the planet right now. There are loads of new frequencies here for you. And how we access them best is when you're in nature, when you're grounded and connected. It's very hard to access these frequencies when you're sitting in front of your computer, when you are on your cell phone. Yes, those frequencies are there, but it's hard because remember, it's all about frequency, and technically cell phones and computers are a frequency disruptor. These devices, as fabulous as they might be in many ways, are here to disrupt your frequency. And you can actually see that on an EEG. You can see your heart coherence being disrupted when you have a device on or near your body. Even when a device is in about an 8 feet proximity to you, you can detect fluctuations in your energetic body and radio frequency in general, which we are being bombarded with. And so part of this journey that you are on right now is setting down the technology for a bit, reminding yourself that you are the best technology, that you are just like a cell phone handset, and you can tap into the cloud of information. You are even more advanced. You can become more powerful than the most powerful handheld cell phone. You can, because you are. No one has been able to duplicate the technology in a human being at this time. And so remind yourself that you are the most powerful piece of technology on the planet, your biotechnology, and that you can access all this information, all this frequency, all this new level of coding for your DNA. But you simply must get out in nature. You simply must harmonize yourself and attune yourself to that frequency versus the frequency of technology. And when you do that, when you take more time to do that, you will notice quantum shifts in your life. Well, that wraps up our energy update for May. I would love to hear what your light bulb moment was or your ahas from this video. So share them down below. And if you love this video, if it resonated with you, please share it with a friend. It really helps me out personally. It helps out this channel. And it helps build this community of light workers and light leaders, because let's face it, it is not easy to walk this path. And one of the most common things I hear is that people feel like they're doing it alone. And I want people to know that you are in this as a huge collective community and your presence matters. And by the way, if you haven't already, be sure to get your free Raise Your Vibration Toolkit. The link is down below and you can get it for free with coupon code 2023. And I will see you in our next energy update. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for your light. I love you, and bye for now.